Hey. Hey, welcome back. This is your girl Tiara,
Risha J.
Yeah.
and we are here to discuss the tragedy and the complex nature of the Tyrie Nichols case. Also, if anybody want to come up, feel free. I'm going to put the link into the chat. We're going to be getting into some things, Black Lives Matters, and how they respond to the situation. We're also going to be talking about this war that's supposed to be happening in 2 years that was told by a U.S. official.
Lieutenant.
Oh, yes, lieutenant. Okay. And the Pentagon trying to say it didn't happen. And we're going to talk about how our taxes is getting cut. So make sure you guys like and share this video. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is get in to the video of Tyrie Nichols' mother and what has been happening. Do y'all want to add anything to it?
Nothing. Really, no, not really. Just we'll have our commentary after.
All right.
Okay. So let me go ahead and get into the video.
He would never walk through that door again. He would never come in and say, hello, parents. Because that's what he would do. He would come in and say, hello, parents. I'll never hear that again.
Yeah. Post it on your share it. Okay. Okay. All right. So we saw that heart-wrenching video, and just imagine being a mother and knowing that your son actually screamed for your name as he died. There's multiple reports. There's even some allegations out there that we're going to get into, honey, because we did a little research to try to see what's going on. And all I have to say, it's very sad. Like, there's really nothing I can say about it because it's so traumatic that every couple months, every month, somebody's dying at the hand of the police. And to see that it was actually Black people, it's just disgusting. And I'm not really surprised because y'all remember that movie, what was it, Don't Be a Menace, where Bernie Mac, the Black police officers be the worst ones because they feel like they have something over you. Like the white man ice is colder. Like they feel like they look at Black people just like how white people look at Black people. There's also studies we're going to get into that says Black cops are as likely to kill Black people at the same amount as white cops. So we're going to get into that. Like I said, if you guys, I do have the link in the chat. Make sure you guys like and share. Okay, and let's go ahead. Do y'all want to add anything to that?
I would say that, like, it's messed up because it's like we don't feel comfortable or safe enough to even call on first responders, and it's just like even with the paramedics, it's like now we can't even trust y'all to see that we have, a medical issue and we get rendered aid.
And you know what? That goes into the health system.
Yeah.
And their prejudice against Black people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Black women dying at the hands of doctors.
Yeah.
So
childbirths and everything.
Girl, they covered my post because they said that it may what they said, it may be violent. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into this video, the breakdown of what we gathered here at Free Real Talk. Make sure you follow the page. Let's get into it. Okay, so these are the pictures of the 5 Black men that were actually charged. Tadarius, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin, and Desmond. Now, this is very interesting right here because we have this white officer that basically did not get charged. Okay, and this is why we bringing up Black Lives Matters now, because how in the hell this Black man didn't get charged? I mean, this white cop didn't get charged. Arisha, you know a little bit more about the Black cop. Go ahead and tell us what you know about it. I mean, the white cop.
So I felt like personally he should be charged along with the 5 other people that participated in the activities. For the simple fact is, as you being there witnessing what they were doing and you was participating and you held, like he was holding a taser on him, like he was getting ready to tase him, like he already being threatened. He's already on the ground, so he's literally no threat. And you got a taser directly pointed at him, talking about you gonna tase him, and y'all calling him bitches and everything.
Yes.
So my thing is, how do you arrest 5 that was participating in the whole situation and not arrest him? And he was there also. He was the same person that could have stepped up and said, no, don't do this or anything.
Because that's like if you in the same room with somebody and they murder somebody, you're gonna get some kind of charge for that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's literally the same exact thing, except for he's the police. So I feel like police get a bigger,
and it's a white.
Well, they should.
It will blow. It. The thing is, it blows up more because it's Black officers that did it. Usually, police brutality is a white officer, but no, let's push this that Black people do it too. But you also still got to get the ones accountable.
And another thing with the justice system, how many cases have we saw where white police officers never been charged this fast?
No, never. Yeah. They get what is it? Dishonorable discharge with pay.
Yeah.
They get temporary leave with pay.
With pay, yeah. So that's very interesting, and that's why in this title I named it, where is BLM? Where is Black Lives Matters? Where is the outrage? And I understand.
And if you think about it, if you tell somebody like, oh, you killed somebody, go sit at home for 2 months, but we still gonna pay you. Is that not like a vacation or what?
A vacation.
What? I bet. I mean, you basically giving it an incentive to kill more motherfuckers. If I can go home, kill somebody, go home, then
you didn't learn nothing. You're gonna do it again. It's a repeating cycle.
Exactly. And so that's why I feel like it's very important to go ahead and think before we do, because not everybody going to have that same grace.
Yeah.
And we also got to look at our community.
Yeah, and mental illness. Mental illness plays a big part in half of this. Like, and not in this situation, but in situations that's like this, like a police officer being like too rough, or not understanding and can't calm a person down. Like, that's something that you're supposed to know how to do.
And then another thing, we was talking about this the other day. It's like, I don't know if it's actually true, but I feel like A police know how to jig the system. Like if you're going in to be a police officer, you know, you have to go through certain tests. You have to go through certain stuff. You have to go through people messing with your brain, asking you all type of questions to make sure that you're acquitted for this. But some people have the right skills to get around it. You feel me? And then they get around it, and then stuff like this happens because it's like, oh, I'm gonna be a police officer, but I'm really not in my right mind. But I can act like I'm in my right mind, so I can get this job, and then I'm gonna be out here just doing my own thing. Because when I'm the police, I'm above all, basically.
Like you above the law. No, you are one with the law. The same way we have to obey, you have to obey too.
And not only that, we got to think about how some humans just have bad days. Now, we're going to get into some alleged information out there on the motive, because what is the motive? If you go and find the video, the officers are being very, very violent and aggressive,
hostile, very hostile.
So it's like they got
the car. Like
so
that.
At this point, it's kind of like they got some kind of something against him, and it's like at this point, then we're gonna go back to. That goes back to what the what was that post we seen where it said, one of the police officers sent the ex-girlfriend a picture.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that.
Oh yeah, the officer, one of the officers that was accused of one of him out of the 5 sent a picture to his girlfriend of the situation.
It's Demetrius.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, okay?
But and that goes all the way back. So it's a little, let's get into it because it's real deep. Because it goes all the way back to he is the boyfriend of Demetrius's ex-girlfriend that he still wanted back. So at this point, it all seems plain to me.
Yeah, premeditated. Let's go ahead and get into this. So these are the 5. Now this is what I find very interesting. This white officer, I don't know if y'all can really see it. But this white officer right here, he has now been relieved of duty. There has not been any charges, okay?
And I feel like they only didn't charge him with it was because he didn't have him on video actually beating him or actually physically harming him. But that goes back to if you're in the same room with the person and they kill somebody, you're still getting in trouble for that because you witnessed it and you didn't try to stop it.
Not only that, but why was if they didn't know or notice, why was he discharged? They just discharged him for nothing?
Right. There's something behind why he got discharged. But didn't you say he tased somebody?
He was trying to tase him while he was on the ground. So I don't think he successfully did, or he took the prone things out. But yeah, he was threatening with the taser, and actually they was telling him to tase him, like tase this bitch ass. Like
that's what they was telling him.
Yeah, they was telling the officers, like, y'all already hostile, man. Y'all telling this man to tase him. The man already got the taser on him, like it's on his body.
Now, I've got into some research, and I was wondering, what is Black Lives Matters doing, about this? Because it's an interesting perspective when the cops are Black as well. Are we going to have the same type of, protesting and anger and upset and being upset when it's Black cops? Is Black Lives Matter going to have protesting and things like that? According to this article, no. It says Parker, a board member for the Black Lives Matters Global Network Foundation, released the following statement. Tyrie should be alive today. He mattered to everyone except those upholding state-sanctioned violence in a dangerous cycle of white supremacy. So they saying that, meaning that Black men that killed him is operating under white supremacy. Now, how does that two go together? I have an idea, but let me go ahead and read the remaining statement. Tyrie was overwhelmingly loved by his community, family, and friends. He was described as a mama boy who looked forward to his mama's homemade chicken. Why are y'all saying all that? I mean, Black Lives Matter, what that gotta? He loved skating since he was 6. So basically, he said his death is a tragedy. It shows again why the status quo of law enforcement in the U.S. cannot go on. It's a pity that BLM and other campaign organizations that are usually keen to shout from the rooftops are not speaking up about this case. Okay. So that's what people are saying. They're looking at Black Lives Matters like, where is the protest? Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
And
Richard, you made a good point. You was like, there's no need to protest because they've been charged. But remember, there was still Black Lives Matters protesting when George Floyd killer was charged. You know,
But
they
it took
protested
him. It took
but
them
I
a
feel like
minute.
even if it
It
ain't
took them a
even
minute to charge him. It took him a minute to even find him in the wrong about the whole George Floyd. Even though you basically restricted his airway and everything, like it took them a minute to actually prosecute and charge him. And I feel like if they wouldn't have never suppressed the issue like they did, I'm pretty sure it would have been another black man, a black man that died by the hands of the police and no justice.
and that's the sad thing.
And I feel
but
like the Black Lives Matter, they need a protest because we still got people out here that was in the whole mix when the stuff was happening. Y'all could have stopped it. Y'all saying that he was, I guess the officers was stressed out or whatever. Y'all could have intervened and de-escalated the situation. Instead, you participated in the festivities. So I feel like everybody from the EMTs, the lieutenant, they should be charged also.
But then again, it goes back to how did he even get all of these people? So I feel like we need to go back to what I was talking about. The girlfriend, the
Let's find some information,
police,
girlfriend.
the girlfriend, and him being the police's ex-girlfriend. How did he get all of these other four cops to go along with him and be like, hey, let's go over here and beat the heck out this dude because he goes with my girl and now she don't want me back. You feel me? Like, I get like, yeah, he probably is cool with all the police officers because they are all police officers, but it comes to a fact because it's like, how did you get all these people to agree with you to like, what did y'all agree to? Like, just beat him up? Y'all didn't know he was gonna die. What was the plan? Like, y'all had to have came with a plan. There's no way this was just like something that just randomly happened. It was just too aggressive. It was too like, y'all came off aggressive. When y'all pulled the man over, it's like y'all already knew who he was, what y'all was gonna do to him before it even, you feel me, before he even got out his car.
That was premeditated.
Yeah,
right.
they had a motive.
It's premeditated. That's what it is. It's premeditated. But let me go ahead. We're gonna get into basically one of the alleged reasons why they did that. And like you said, it's the girlfriend. So let me go ahead and get into that and play that video.
This subscribe, notification bell, and we cover Tyrie Nichols case. And y'all ain't. And I want to survive this. After Demetrius beat the hell out of boy, beat him to death.
Let's just go right here. It says Tyrie worked at FedEx, and Demetrius Haley, that's the cop right there, 30 years old, honey, took a picture allegedly. This is what they saying on Facebook. Gangsta Cody, honey, said it's all over a female. He allegedly took a picture of Tyrie on the ground and sent it to his ex. All the officers involved went out bad over this man's personal issue. Tyrie and his ex had a relationship. Wow.
And that still goes back to what I said. Why would y'all put y'all job, y'all career, y'all life in jeopardy for just this one man and his ex-girlfriend? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, why would y'all let him talk y'all into some stuff that y'all know ain't gonna come out good? What did y'all think y'all was gonna really get away with? And that goes back to police think they can really get away with anything. Because how did y'all think y'all gonna get away with this? How?
It's the entitlement.
It ain't no telling what he probably done put in their head. Like, you a police, I'm very sure you can be manipulative. Like,
and they the police too, so they should be able to recognize when they being manipulated. And he manipulated four of them. How? Like, he a real good manipulator if he did that. Like, yeah, I mean, like, he said he was gonna pay them.
If it's connected, if it's all connected, then yeah, he a good manipulator.
I just don't know.
I mean, to me,
I get anxious thinking about it. I start moving around and I'm like, when did they, what?
I feel like that's just something that we'll never know, like the actual motive,
exactly.
Like what was going through y'all mind at the time when it's a bunch of y'all and one of him.
Right.
Right.
And like I said, it's like y'all already knew what y'all was gonna do to this man before he even got out the car.
Yeah, y'all had a whole motive. Like, y'all knew what y'all were coming to do, and y'all did it.
Well, like I said, this Facebook thing is not capturing, but there is another article that I'm looking at. We're just gonna look at us because that's you can't see it. But basically, there's articles stating that black cops are just as likely as white cops to kill black suspects.
Yeah.
What? There is actually scientific data and statistics
It's
backing
called
that.
black on black crime.
I mean, and that's sad because we promote it as an culture.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
feel
lot
like
of things we promote to our detriment, but we have been led to believe that it's cool.
It's okay. It's all right to act out irrationally, not having control over our emotions,
Right.
especially when we held to a higher standard as them. Yeah.
And I feel like they think that if they, I don't know, it's like they trying to like blend in or something. Like they want to.
They're trying to uphold
Fit
white
in.
supremacy. They want to look better than the other black people.
Yeah.
For example, there's a lot of people that once they get money, they want to shit on black people.
And
I
there's
look
some black
better.
people who genuinely hate black people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're black. Make it make sense.
Right. Yeah.
You hate yourself.
Right.
That's the only reason why you hate yourself.
Yeah, it's self-hate. And that's through white supremacy. So I was like, okay, I understand what that research was basically saying. Another thing they said, we believe that the disproportionate killings of black suspect is a downstream effect of institutionalized racism within many police departments. They write, at least in part, disappropriating killing is a function of disproportionate police contact among members of the African American community. And this goes into accountability as well, because the reason why we're police more is there's more crime. But the reason why it's more crime is because there's more poverty.
Yeah.
So the poverty issue needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
We need more funding. Hell, we were just talking about how they are able to send billions of dollars to Ukraine, gave all the children Chromebooks. We've been having access to capital, but you rather let the hoods be the hoods, knowing that the reason why the hoods is the hoods and the projects is the project is because people are trying to survive.
Yeah.
It's all about survival.
Survival of the fittest.
Right.
And that's what keeps creating this cycle of mass incarceration when it comes to black people. Black people getting, they're more likely to encounter a cop, especially if you live in certain areas, because that area is bad, or it has more crime because it's poor. And a lot of times people don't look at it because it's because of poverty. If black people or the ghettos or the projects, if people in there had money, there wouldn't be no crime, because what would be crime for?
If we think about it like that, like name a rich neighborhood or a rich community that's just out here always on the news for fighting, and they getting together, they having cookouts, doing swimming parties and all type of stuff.
I honestly feel like they need to defund the police.
They say money don't make you happy.
Defund the police department and give the funds to hungry, needy kids in America and homeless.
Right.
And not even that, I think it needs to go deeper, because we need to give money to people living in the hood, and not just any money. Most people in the hood, they probably going to spend that shit on crack or spend it on what they need at the
That's
time.
what I said, like food sources.
Or spend it on what you need, because at the same time, if you give me $5,000, I'll probably pay my car off. It's not going to really do that much. You know what I mean? Because we're not in that financial situation to really use money, because we're surviving. We might need to get a 2 fits, we might need to do this and this and this. So it's not extra money. I mean, it's helpful, but we really need communities to come together and help people, uplift them out of those mental mind situations, which is drugs, which is not healing from how you grew up. And then you have a boyfriend, how they grow up, or a husband, then the daddy and the father's not there. There's so many problems within the Black community that comes from poverty and uneducation. And then on top of that, you have this mainstream of influence that's basically detrimental to Black people. So it's like it's creating a cycle. And what we gonna do about it? Like as Black people, what are we going to do about it? Let's go ahead and get into some more articles. Okay. So we found that Black cops are more likely to kill. Now, here's something interesting. 2 METs and a lieutenant have been terminated from the Memphis Fire Department after violating numerous policies.
But not charged.
Eventually, so that's my thing. Where is Black Lives Matters? Where's Black Lives Matters then?
This where they come in at. This
and that still even goes back to Black Lives Matter with like the police. Like y'all was so quick to throw the Black y'all in jail because I guess they was Black.
They had
y'all knew for a fact they
storyline. They had to have a storyline. We've been so fixated on these white cops killing Black people, and it's like, well, whoop-de-doo. Now it's 5 Black people killed a Black person. So I wonder how they gonna take this. Let's throw this out on the media.
And I think that a lot of times, a lot of media love the fact that now they can throw up, well, Black on Black crime.
Yeah.
Black on Black crime. Every time we try to voice an opinion.
You got the one crab out of a bucket.
But what about Black on Black crime? Which I agree. I agree that needs to be addressed too. Yeah. But when it comes to the justice system, there has to be some part
that comes first.
Trust the justice system. So us looking at the EMT and the chief being fired, something is wrong from the top, from the chiefs of the police.
Yeah.
Institutionalized racism. And if we have studies that say that, what are we going to do about that as Black? What are we going to do?
I feel like provide stricter checks and stuff, like mental checks and stuff, evaluations and all that. Because it's like, how if we doing it the way we doing it now and it's not working, is we gonna still keep doing it that same way, or we're gonna push the fact that it's consequences behind everything you do, even as an upper hand authority figure, like it's consequences for y'all too, for whoever.
Yeah. But another thing, I think we as Black people, women and men, we're not perfect. We have to take some accountability because we also have to be smart and look at how police officers are looking at us. I know some people be like, it doesn't matter. But if we know at the end of the day, your chances of being killed by a policeman, no matter if they're white or Black, is increased just because you're Black. Why are you upholding certain stereotypes you know that fits in the standard of doing crime? For example, and I understand, I'm not saying it's right, but if you go around with the same type of bumping your music in your car, not even that, but if you're going around big wheels on 24s, bumping your music, you're more likely going to get pulled over.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because they in their
like a drug dealer.
Exactly, because they in their mind, when we see ourselves in the media, we see cars and big rims. We see rappers rapping about it and also rapping about numerous of crimes.
Yeah, numerous.
Why they in the damn car? They're about to go kill a nigga. And
that's why you get Rico.
In his big ass car. So as a police officer, you trying to stop crime and shit. You like, oh my God, he's about to do some shit now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you can't be yourself because that's not fair for people who just likes fucking cars. That's not fair just because
you shouldn't be judged.
You can't be judged. But the reality is
you're
judged. So it's like when I tell people that, it's like either you're gonna play the game or you're gonna try to say, oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. Life ain't fair.
But it could be close to it.
If I'm a drug dealer and I know that how I look determines if people think I'm a drug dealer. That's why people do it for the lifestyle. That's why I fuck with Young Thug and that song for the lifestyle. Because if I was a drug dealer, you would never know. I look like a damn geek. I'll be driving in a station wagon.
Huh?
Why be that person that people connect to someone doing crimes and then get upset that you're being stereotyped? Yes, wrong to be stereotyped, but if you're dressing and looking and acting like the motherfuckers who rap about it or talk about it or the motherfuckers who did it, more than likely they're going to associate that with you. That's all I have to say. Just like the hoodie thing, which is stupid because what you saying, black people can't wear hoodies now? I think we have to take accountability. We have to take accountability. And a lot of people are like, music and all that doesn't matter because we're telling our stories like T.I. We're telling our stories. T.I., you have been rich for 20 years. You're not in the street selling drugs no more. And
No more.
Right, you don't have a
Give it
story to tell.
Give it up.
I don't understand how Young Thug is that influenced by this hell of a lifestyle that you are a millionaire in jail for racketeering. Like at some point, fuck this. I did this when I was younger. Now that I'm a millionaire, you won't never see me do it again.
But no, they can't. It's like teaching about new tricks. You can't. You can't.
Because you can't say you're proving that to females because you're already rich. Females don't give a fuck how you rich. You don't got to prove it to females that you are hard street nigga once you're a rapper. Being a rapper alone gonna get the bitches. So you're still doing this for the lifestyle, for niggas' attentions. It don't make sense. We as a culture got to do better. And then it be the black Christians for me. Sorry. I know. I'm just saying, if you are a Christian, how are you listening to certain things? How are you incorporating certain things into your life?
Well, for one, half of the Christians, they got a judgmental mentality. And
judgmental. And you know what's so funny? I should have bought a clip. They're judgmental on the stupidest shit. Like there's men who rather their son be a drug dealer killer than to be gay. I done seen videos of them asking, would you rather your son be gay or be a murderer? And they say a murderer.
It doesn't matter. I don't want him to be a murderer.
I'd rather for my son to be gay than a
Gay
murderer.
as hell.
What's wrong with being gay? I mean, I understand it. People want to say the Bible, but
it's we can't say the Bible and not say the Bible. We can't say we ain't better just quote one scripture and not the whole thing.
Right. Then that's my fucking thing. How you gonna take one part out, but not the murdering and adultery and sinning and lying, all the rest of the motherfucking sins? You don't want to talk about that. And then honestly, being gay is not even in the 10 Commandments.
It don't say thou shall not be gay.
It does not say that. But it does say thou shall not kill. Thou shall not steal. So no robberies.
So they ready to send they ready to send their kids straight to hell.
Straight to hell. Yeah. Gasoline draws on.
Because you really think that the Bible is saying that.
Because they ain't thinking.
They're not thinking. We're being introduced by different influences. And I do think it's a lot of influences in media is ran by the motherfucking white men or the Jews. So they're not gonna give a fuck
to brainwash you and tell you what they want you to know.
You to believe. Yes. But remember when we did that video and we looked and we found all those, like it was like 5-10 companies that own almost everything in America.
Everything.
They own everything.
Networks.
Cereal.
Yeah.
Salsa. Because you got to think about it. If you own General Minerals or General Mills or something like that, that's all kinds of cereals and shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's Kellogg brands. And then there's different brands that it's owned by literally 15 families. We are the that's like to me new slaves. We're so free. We don't even know we're really living in some slavery shit. Because when you think about 40 hours a week, we're working and we still struggling. People are still struggling at 40 hours a week. How?
Not only that, you go to work and put 10 times extra in. You think you're gonna have 10 times extra on your check?
No.
You're gonna get the same amount.
Same amount.
No bonus, no here you go, no thank you, no kiss my tail, no
That's
none of
why
that.
I always do the bare minimum at my job.
Yeah.
I always do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's because they're going to fire you. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get fucking fired, or you're going to be working there until you die.
Yeah.
And at the end of that day, if you do die, there's going to be somebody else in your place.
It's the next
company is still going to go and go
regardless. Do you think they're going to pay for your funeral? No. Do you think they're going to come to your funeral? No. So you want me to work hard in your establishment because of what? No, baby, you do that. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
But I just thought that the Tyrie Nichols situation, it really made me look at us as a Black community. I always looked at us, but when you see,
we have to do better.
We do.
We're the only race that cannot coexist with each other. You got Chinese going into business with each other. You got Mexicans building houses with each other,
like living in houses with each other. Like 8 families in one house.
White people, they can leave generations of wealth for their family.
See, that's the thing. Black people also don't believe in insurance. And what's not insurance, but
life insurance.
Life insurance.
Get y'all some life insurance.
This white girl told me too. She said that's how a lot of white families get on.
Yeah.
They get $1 million policies, hundreds of $1,000 policies. That's why they be going to probate court or court to see who owes who or who's supposed to have this and this, because they actually know that when they die, they have money going to their kids.
Yeah, but what it's from their ancestors, their grandmothers, the same ones that were slave owners and everything. Yep. They always had a better opportunity above us because we had to start from the bottom. So I can understand where our mentality, like where our, our survival of the fittest mentality come from, because it's like, it was so many years we had shit taken away from our ancestors. Like we, to this day, we don't even have anything that we can say, oh yeah, that we can cherish or be happy about, or even turn into a flourishing business. Like we don't have that.
But we're gonna get in that because you know what tomorrow is Black History Month, and there were communities of affluent Black people who were making Black banks and Black churches, and the white people burned it down. One was Tulsa, Oklahoma. Another one was in Georgia. They flooded that whole town because it was Black people coming together. And I have a thing. I always think, will Black people come together when we absolutely have to? Is that what's going? Is that what
we always get some stuff done, even if it don't come out good. We get some stuff done when we come together.
Especially Black women. And this goes to the next topic. When we have to go to motherfucking war with China, are we then going to stick together? Then let's go ahead and get into this motherfucking shit, because I cannot believe this, honey. I cannot.
I don't want no smoke. That's all I know. I don't know about everybody else and what the world got going on, but I just want to live.
Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Because war with China,
I just want to live.
Y'all, what the fuck we gonna do if we go to war with China?
Stay alive.
You know what? And we can.
But I don't.
No, we don't. I ain't gonna put that out there in the universe.
Let's not do that.
Take it back.
Let's not do that, because at the end of the damn day,
my nerves.
Everything, mostly like 90% of what we get and what we have comes from China. So what we gonna do?
Almost everything I ever get has a little mark on it that says "Made in China." Like literally anything.
And that's what I feel like America. Y'all allow the government allow corporations to buy them out.
Yeah.
Because if you was a true government, I would not want to depend so much on another nation. That's scary. You giving them too much power.
Knew it. I just picked up anything I could find. Like I got a lot of stuff just sitting around. I just got a little old chaps.
Oh my god.
It's a designed in the US but made in China.
Sad.
Damn, made in China, bitch. My lips gonna fall off. They're gonna put something in it.
Y'all, look at this headline. General likely right that U.S. China are headed to war over Taiwan by 2025. Remember I told you it was over Taiwan? Because Taiwan wants to be with America and China wants Taiwan to be with China. Let's go ahead and get into this video.
Yeah, we cannot beef with China. I picked up something else made in China.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks for having me. All right, I want to start by this report of a U.S. general who is making a comment about a potential war with China in 2025. Get your reaction to this. NBC News is citing a memo to his officers with this quote. They say, "I hope I am wrong," he says to them. "My gut tells me we'll fight in 2025." Now, that's being met with a lot of different reactions and skepticism. This is attributed to the opinion of one man. What do you make of that, and how do you think that's going to be received?
Well, I hope he's wrong as well. I think he's right, though. Unfortunately, I mean, China is mounting
an actual war.
Well, I think China's looking at reunification of Taiwan, right? That's how they call it. There are several ways to do that. The first one is to influence the election that will take place a year from today. President Xi's party is running for re-election. China is hitting them hard, saying they're proxying the United States to go to war with China. If they succeed in that effort, like Hong Kong without a shot fired, but if they don't win in that one, they are going to look at a military invasion, in my judgment. We have to be prepared for this. And it could happen, I think, as long as Biden is in office, projecting weakness, as he did with Afghanistan that led to Putin invading Ukraine.
Wait a minute, hold on.
You could see a conflict with China and Taiwan, and the end up.
How did he just say the reason why we're in war, or not Putin is in war with Russia is because of how Biden handled the Afghanistan situation? And do y'all know what he mean by that? Did you know when Biden let the Trumps come back to America from being over there in the Middle East and Afghanistan, within like an hour, the insurgents or Al Qaeda, whoever, took over their capital? We left all our military equipment over there on top of that. I mean, there was even a video of airplanes leaving, like the people that's in the U.S., what is that called? The U.S. Embassy there. When the people were leaving out because they were like, okay, America, we're done. There were fucking Muslims, not Muslims, but Middle Eastern people holding on to planes, not wanting to stay because they knew they was just going to come and kill them. So this man right here is saying that the reason when that happened, that was the reason Putin went to war with Ukraine. Yeah, that is crazy because they was like, well, hell, look at America. America don't give a fuck. America not even fighting for the Middle East.
The thing is, Americans trained their troops and they had sent over the weapons for them to fight for their country. That was the whole purpose of the troops going over there in the first place. But to help them get prepared to fight for their country. They literally
20 years. How in the hell how did y'all get overtaken in 2 hours?
Because they own military left. They military left them.
You talk about the Ukraine. Afghanistan. I'm talking about Afghanistan.
Yeah, when they took over and stuff. Yeah. When Ukraine or something took over Afghanistan, yeah. What was I saying?
let's get back into, because I don't know. Let's get back into the video.
This goes back to my father's war, World War II.
Okay. So basically,
but yeah, the military left. Their military, our military went over there to train, give them weapons and stuff like that to fight for their country. When we left, when the U.S. military left, the Afghanistan military left.
So they basically expected us to take the weapons over there and help them fight.
Yes. They left their people. They left their community. So that's how they were able to take.
How did they go?
Huh?
Where did they go?
They went to the headquarters where the president and stuff was at. Wow. They took over the headquarters of that. Then the only reason why the females and stuff was trying to basically like leave their country because all of their rights was taken as a woman. They don't have they can't have businesses. They can't do a lot of things. They basically got to they got to give everything to the men's.
And you know what? We're gonna do a separate video about this.
And that's how it used to be back in the day, though.
Going on in the Middle East right now that nobody is talking about because this girl wore her scarf wrong. And if you wear your scarf wrong over there, you have to go to detention. And when she was in detention, she was raped and killed. So they start protesting and taking their shababs or something off. The military started just shooting and killing people. Protesting. They hung this one boy. It's all over TikTok. We're gonna have to get
just for taking their stuff off, y'all.
Huh?
Just for taking their stuff off.
Yeah, they can't when they overseas. The reason why they wear that because they cannot show no skin in public, no skin, and if they do, it's consequences.
Yeah, they go to
and it varies from their husbands or whoever.
And there's people cutting your hair because you're not supposed to because to me, the Middle East, they're trying to say the reason why they're like that to their women is because they want to protect them. It's too damn hot to be in the desert without it on. Number one. And
then y'all not doing too much of a protecting if y'all trying to control women.
Exactly. So it's under this disguise to me as, we want your protection. But with that protection, I'm free. I'd rather be free and just let me get done.
But yeah, the businesses of the hair salons of women was shut down and everything.
What would happen if we do go into war with China? What do y'all think will happen?
I feel like we have, military weapons that could, I'd say, withstand China's military. But they do have nuclear weapons that can do.
We do too.
Tremendous damages. Yeah, but it's like when do you push it? Like when do we use it? When it's already been used on us? Then what? We can't use it.
See, when I think about the military, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Don't laugh. I mean, not the military. When I think about war, I think about these people in big old fields. I honestly picture it on the movies because I don't understand. I don't know how else it is. Like, you feel me? Like
they
say we war, people just in big old fields, just shooting and running up to each other and punching and doing whatever. I don't know.
It's just them taking over. They trying to take over.
Because if you look at the Ukraine war, also the Middle East, when they use devices to go over there and look at shit, they in people's houses, in people's yards. They're not like, let's meet on this field.
Yeah, no. When they burn
civilians had to. When I was watching the breakdown of the Ukraine war at the beginning, now it's funny that we don't hear shit about it. Like it's just not there.
It don't exist.
Like it don't exist. They're still in war today.
Yeah.
People that were living, there was a building that this girl was in that got hit by a missile, but the missile didn't go off. So it's just sticking in the building. It killed everybody in its contact, but it's just sticking outside her building. She just like this. One of the missiles went in the schoolyard and killed kids. So, this is another thing, because if you kill kids in school, that is called a crime of humanity. Then they can get NATO to interfere, but NATO, because if the thing is, if China goes to war with America, we have an alliance called the NATO alliance. That means all the white countries, basically.
Yeah.
And I want to say Japan too. I'm not for sure. That means they all have to go to war. Like, for example, if Putin was to try to fuck up anybody surrounding Ukraine, America would then have to go to war because all those countries like Germany, Sweden, the Netherlands,
that's another thing. We are in alliances with other countries too, so that helps. So it's not like just America versus China. It's all of these continents and stuff.
But guess who's going to be on China's side though?
What, Russia? Girl.
And they're saying India. And they're saying some African countries. Ain't that gonna be some bullshit? But Africa don't like us.
Yeah, they don't see us as them anyway. We two different species. We are aliens compared to them.
Yeah, because they said the Russia and China alliance, like they have a whole alliance.
Because how is Africa fighting for them though, y'all? That's the craziest thing. Like, huh?
Because you got to think about the history.
I never seen Africa fighting nobody.
I know, right?
They fight themselves.
The history of America and all the white countries that's in NATO. I'm not surprised if Africa does, but I mean, there's wars going on in Africa that nobody give a fuck about. There was this man called Boko Haram. And I used to date an African. He used to tell me about that shit. He would go to schools in Africa and just kidnap all the women and have a shootout because he had people with them. And they would have a shootout. He would take them, get them pregnant to make more warriors. Just all through Africa. Y'all didn't send $1 million to do that. They probably could have killed him with $1 million.
$2
billions. You know what I mean? But America ain't helping them. Africa probably like, damn, when we need help when it comes to our wars, y'all not over here helping us.
No.
So I can see why they probably like, hell yeah.
But like you said, who do they go to war with other than themselves?
A lot of the thing is the Middle East too. The Middle East be going because you know what? We don't understand that when they say the Middle East, some of that is Africa. Mm-hmm. Like Egypt, Morocco. That's some of them say that's the Middle East, but that's also African countries too. Mm-hmm. They be going to war too. You know, they still have slavery in a lot of those countries.
Yeah, ain't getting no slaving up out of me.
What?
Hey, I'm gonna let you know. That ain't no good.
Y'all know about slavery still? No, definitely not, girl. But let's not get too deep in that because that can be another subject for another day. Black History Month is around the corner. Matter of fact, tomorrow.
Yeah, we have to definitely just keep strong. And we're gonna get this information out there. And I'm just looking at if there's going to be a war between Taiwan and China, we will fight the war over ourselves, he said. If other countries come to our aid, that will highly be appreciated. Do you know how little Taiwan is compared to China?
They have the United States has treaty allies with Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, Australia, and Thailand.
Oh, so all of them going to have to fight.
Mm-hmm. So Japan and Thailand is like China. Ain't it? Like
No, Japan is an island.
I mean, but is it?
See, this is where it gets interesting because all that is Asia. We think also Japanese,
Japan,
China,
South Korea, Philippines, Australia, and Thailand.
That's called Asians. They're called Asia. Did you know also with the country of Asia has Europe in it, India in it, China in it, Russia.
Australia.
And that's why they call them Caucasians. No, Australia is an island.
Oh.
What Australia is considered a continent. Isn't that so fucking weird? Did y'all know that Russia, and I didn't know this, that Russia, damn it, and America, which is Alaska, is right like this.
Like close.
Close as fuck.
Yeah.
So you mean if we go to war with they ass, they can just come through to Alaska and
Yeah.
come down to America and fuck us up?
They can sail over here and fuck us the hell up.
She said
I didn't
sale.
know it was that close. I thought Russia was on the other opposite of the
Yeah.
motherfucking world. I didn't know it was.
They gonna
Because I
sail
never
that
know.
little
I don't really
stream.
look at North America, Canada and shit. I don't really look at that. But yeah, so if Russia do, because you know who will have China back? Russia.
Yep. And Russians.
China don't need nobody to have their back. That's a big ass place by itself. What is they doing? We better try to beat us up by themselves.
Girl, they put them kids in military.
Oh, look, y'all. I'm reading an article. It says the
And Chinese people
Chinese
can fight real
defeat-
good, so they don't need no help.
What? But you see, you know what? Because you know that's so funny that
Can't
Japan
fight these
is
bullets.
now. You know what the history of Japan is, right? They're now our alliance. But back then, they were the one who would took that the kamikazes, meaning they would just get into a plane and just kill themselves. They're the one that started Pearl Harbor by doing that, because even though Japan is a small ass island, them motherfuckers were killing themselves. They didn't give a fuck. So
What
that's why
did you hear?
on their ass. So I was like, dang, for Japan to align with America after we threw the first bombs ever on their ass.
Yeah.
Girl.
But did you know, like they said back in the day, the reason why they did that, like it's suicide.
Yeah,
suicide
they was called kamikazes.
It's because they were promised by the leader that their family would be taken care of by their sacrifices.
I mean, that's just like when Muslims go and attach bombs to themselves and blow everybody up. They were believed, they do that through religion, ideology through the religion. They believe that when they go to heaven, they have like 6 or 7 wives.
Yeah, you ain't have 6 or 7 wives when you're on America. On Earth.
Why you on America?
I mean, I don't want 6 or 7 virgins in the afterlife, sir.
Give me money. Give me wealth.
I don't care about, because the afterlife ain't no guarantee.
It's just a floating orbs.
And I was gonna say, girl, what you gonna buy with money in heaven?
Right.
I don't know. Am I gonna be hungry?
If I'm in heaven,
am I gonna eat?
Why would I need 7 wives?
That is a spirit. Spirits don't eat.
You don't even see your wives. What you got? Balls of orbs, 7 of them floating around you. You just seeing white. Oh, that's the afterlife. Come here. Which one is which?
No, tell me why, y'all. We don't have nobody on our lives, and I think it's because our lives being restricted. I don't know if because we talked about
it's restricted.
Girl, she said that when we first went live.
I thought it was covered.
It's covered. Yes, it's covered. It says sensitive content.
Why you didn't go out and go back in, girl? We've been live for a whole hour and ain't nobody seen our stuff.
And
I was wondering why. We usually have people comment and try to get on here and talk to us. That's crazy, bro.
Y'all, let's go.
Facebook be hating on us.
It's not restricted. You can still see it. But it has a cover on it, and I think it's because we were talking about Tyrie Nichols. But let's go ahead and get off of this and come back. What's some subjects we can really get into? I feel like when we talk about men and women relationships, when we talk about relationships, that's when most people want to put their 2 and 2 in. So what we're going to talk about, so I can put it as the title.
When
ain't
Thursday?
nobody on here now.
I'm just saying, exit it.
I said when Thursday.
Y'all
okay,
well,
go ahead and exit it first, and then we can talk.